Natasha, and if you're watching this video, most likely you are a Cancer rising, or you know someone who is a Cancer rising and are curious as to what are they really about, or what deeper insights about yourself that you can get from a video like this. And so we have to ask, what in the world is a rising sign, or also an ascendant sign, as well as, it just represents the first house in your natal chart. So your natal chart is dissected into 12 houses and 12 zodiac signs. Each and every one of us has all of the zodiac signs within our own chart. It's just different energies, or more energies are playing out in certain zodiac signs and certain houses in comparison to someone else, and so you get your rising sign by knowing the location of your birth, and especially the time you were born, as whenever the sun was rising, that is when you came out of the womb, and now that kind of dictates the whole dial and order of your natal chart. And no matter what, the zodiac signs are still in order. It's just they are now shifted, which zodiac sign is representing your first house, or your house of self, who you are, your personality, your identity, your physical body. So having Cancer in your first house, you come off as very nurturing, loving, homey, caring, emotionally intelligent. You care about other people's feelings, or you feel like home. You know how to nurture people, or that is just the way you present yourself, as caring and nurturing, detail oriented as to, how to work with people's emotions. And the moon is your first house ruler, and because the moon represents Cancer. And so wherever the moon is, which is one of the big three, your sun, moon, and rising, and where the moon is for you, the zodiac sign in the house it is in, it is playing a part as to who you are, or where you're going to be pulled towards into developing your sense of self. What are you drawn to? Just what you're pulled towards. Having a Cancer rising sign, you can have larger breasts, or the chest is of importance to your physical body. You can have a face or skin tone that is very reflective, or like moon-like, so very bright or illuminant, reflecting in some sort of way, whether it's just like the fairness of your skin, or kind of your aura has this kind of moon quality to it. The main things are nurturing, caring, family oriented, and nurturing all of the emotions. You may come off as kind of moody or emotional, or go through mood swings, or go through all of the emotions all at once, because that is kind of what the mom goes through, is they feel all of the emotions all at once, and it can be exhausting, and it can make the person a little bit moody and emotionally unstable at times. So that is representing your first house. I like to point out more of the personal houses, and then follow up with the rest of the houses in all of these rising signs. So most likely, if you are a Cancer rising, your fourth house is ruled by Libra. And that means most likely, I'm basically saying, if you do not have any duplications or interceptions in your personal natal chart. Because if you do, it's going to be a little bit different, or the ruler of that house may be a little bit different, the one before or after. So most likely your fourth house is ruled by Libra. So your childhood upbringing in some sort of way is almost like contractual contractual, or there's this kind of mutual agreement, or it's about agreements, or it's fair and balanced or harmonious, or it was like people pleasing in some way, shape, or form. Like maybe you had one parent who was very domineering and one parent who was very submissive, and it was not balanced, but you wished that it was more fair and balanced. So you could have had a more controlling parent who kind of dictated everything, and then you may have had another parent that was more submissive or trying to keep the peace, or is the peacekeeper or people pleaser to the other parent, and that is what you saw. Perhaps you saw something that was not fair and balanced, like one had to sacrifice a lot, or you saw the disharmony in this harmonious contract, and that's not the way that you would have done things. It's just bringing this Libra energy, or contract. It was like your parents' relationship was some kind of contract. Like the mother was just with the father for money, and the father was with the woman because she was a hot and young person who just chose to be with him. And that contract, mutual agreement for the both of them, it worked. They agreed upon it, regardless if they're actually happy or not, and perhaps you wish that it was more balanced and harmonious, and there wasn't so much control on one side or the other. You communicated more and kind of came to more of a compromise, but that's maybe what you got, maybe what you did not get. Or there was a lot of talk about contracts in some way, shape, or form. Business contracts, relationships in general was important. Building relationships, being nice to other people, doing things for other people. Home and family was about other people, because Libra is the other. It is not about the self. So you always may have felt like you had to self-sacrifice for other people, or the belief system of home and family is you need to do things for other people in order to be respected and polite in the culture, whether that is the culture your parents grew up with and not the culture that you are living in right now. So this can take on different interpretations, but Libra represents other people. There's a focus on the importance of relationships or building relationships, whether that is with your home, your siblings, or just talking about romantic relationships a lot. Or maybe when you're growing up, you dreamed all the time about a romantic relationship, or always seeking out relationships in order to be that husband or wife figure in the future. There was some kind of focus on that. Like you need a harmonious, peaceful, mutual, pleasant, maybe aesthetically pleasing family, home life. It needs to look aesthetically pleasing. It needs to be harmonious, no wars, no strife, and you work together in some kind of balanced way. And that depends on where you are in your life stage and what's going on with you. Your 7th house is most likely ruled by Capricorn. So in relationships, you have to work really hard for them, or, you always feel like you're getting some kind of setback over time. You build and create, and you build a lot of relationships, good relationships, or you're attracted to people who have this kind of mature entrepreneurial quality to them, or you're attracted to people who've been through a lot of hard things in life, and you admire that. Like they're able to overcome quite a lot in life, and still make it from nothing to something, or from being completely broke to multimillionaires. You know, you really look towards or click with, aspire to be with people who have that archetype, whether they are a Capricorn or they're not, but they have that kind of quality to them. They've been through a lot. They seem to be kind of entrepreneurial or very like a survivor. They always can do something, build something. They're about big structures, very kind of smart in that way, like managers, business owners. They're focused on money. And money is important to you because that is kind of also what you're attracted to. Capricorn is also kind of materialistic as an earth sign. They care about the things and the reality of the real world. So you kind of gravitate towards people who are kind of like this or have this trait to them in your relationships, whether that is your romantic relationships, your business relationships, the clients that you interact with, or just the energy that you are trying to figure out, how do I become more like that? Because it feels very far from yourself, because yourself is Cancer, you know. So even though Capricorn energy is within you, being in the 7th house, it feels kind of further away from you unless you have a lot of planets in the sign of Capricorn giving you that energy there. But if it's empty, and depending on whatever else is going on in your chart, you may feel like, how do they do that? You know, like, how can they be so resilient, or how can they still be alive after going through all of those things? Or how did they become kind of cold and stoic, or very in control of their emotions? Because Capricorn has been through quite a lot. So they have emotions, they feel just as deeply as anybody else, but being conditioned over and over and over and over again through a variety of hardships, setbacks, delays, having to do things a slow, hard way, not the fast, quick, easy way, makes them kind of cold and stoic. So you may find that you're attracted to this kind of person who does not express emotion very easily in some way, shape, or form, and you're trying to learn kind of how can someone be like that, because you feel all the emotions all the freaking time, you know, and you're going through all kinds of ups and downs or mood swings, and you know, you need someone who is more emotionally stable in order to balance you out. You know, that can be a thing. The 7th house of other people, it also kind of means that other people see you like this Capricorn archetype. So they can see you as like, you're very organized, you're very professional, business oriented, you know, professional relationships, and you are like a workaholic, you're willing to work, you're a go-getter because it's a cardinal earth sign. You care about money, or you come off like you have money, whether that's just the way you dress and you don't have any at all, but you dress professionally, you dress like you have, you know, some kind of wealth. You present yourself as very mature and stable, even if that doesn't feel like who you are. It might feel kind of far away from you, but you do have these qualities within you as well. Other people may see you as, you know, like an entrepreneur, or you know how to build business or build relationships, you know, that are successful and that grow. They don't just fall apart. You add more and more. You can find that maybe you use relationships to get ahead, you know, to climb up to the top. Capricorn is like a hierarchy, whether you can see that in relationships. You see that in corporations, like you have different levels from janitor to CEO. So it's like, how do I work my way up the ladder in order to build more titles, build more success, build more like experience, climbing up the ladder of, more responsibilities. Capricorn is responsibilities. So in some way, shape, or form, it's like other people see you in this way, or you are attracted to this energy of somehow in whatever department you are trying to build more, build your wealth, build your career, build your relationships, build the things that you own. You're trying to go up the ladder. Hopefully you're not using people to get ahead, but you may find that having someone in a relationship who has these qualities make you feel safe and secure in order to be the nurturer, so that is like the father mother quality. Capricorn is like a father archetype, even though it's a feminine sign. Leo is also, or the sun, it also represents the father. So usually the father provides and the mother nurtures. So that's just how they're two of the same or similar, yet they kind of have different roles. So that can be a thing for you to look into. Your 10th house is most likely ruled by Aries. So this represents your career and how the public sees you, or your public image. So you can present yourself as someone who is a warrior, who's been through a lot and always came back up from it, because Aries energy is very quick and impulsive. But whenever they fall down, they kind of get over it somehow and stand back up, and they're brave. So they're seen like warriors, and people kind of admire the warrior who, they keep falling down, or they keep starting a business over and over again. Like they're an entrepreneur. They might not think things through completely, or they get bored fast and want to start a new business or a new interest for them. But they have this entrepreneurial kind of spirit. Whatever they're passionate about at the time, they're gonna go for that, and they're gonna go for it, and they don't even know. They're like, I like this, I believe in it, I'm gonna go after it and try it, and if I fail, that's fine, I'm gonna try it again. Or if I keep failing and it's not working out, then maybe they'll venture off into something else. The public may see you also as an Aries as kind of one-sided or self-centered, hard-headed, maybe blunt and direct, or not caring and sensitive in some way, shape, or form, because Aries is the opposite of Libra. Libra is like a people pleaser. They think about others all the time. And so the public, or your public image, may present itself like self-centeredness, or you need a lot of attention. It's me, 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 me. Or just like, look at me, look at my physical body, because Aries is physical body, and look at my personality, please accept me, and give me attention, because Aries is almost like the baby. So it can be kind of narcissistic in a way, or just like everyone should just, drop what they're doing and pay attention to me, or stop talking or whatever and listen to me. It has a little bit of that quality to it. It's kind of immature, not sensitive, but of course you need to look at other things happening in your chart that balances it out. But if that is an issue for you, then it's something to be a little bit aware of, as that is just the energy and archetype of Aries. And Aries, it represents the first house, the beginning, it's number one. The focus should be number one. It's like a baby. In order for it to survive, they need that in order to feel like they're gonna make it. and then you kind of move your way around the zodiac. 12 is Pisces, or you get so old that you're like, you understand more of the universe, you're more mature. What you used to find important is no longer important. You're thinking about death, or you're close to it. You're tired and sleepy all the time, want to take naps. So there's kind of like a life stage order that these zodiac signs also represent. But that is kind of what Aries is. So in your career, you might literally be in the military, because Aries is war. Or you do something that you assert, or you advocate for a cause. You're a fighter for some kind of cause. You're a spokesperson or a defender for some kind of cause, so it doesn't always have to come off as this self-centered sign, because Aries is about the self. You can be someone who's like a lawyer. You always want to win. You don't, even if your defendant is in the wrong, you don't want to know that, and you're going to find some sort of way for it to be like you're number one and you win. Even though you are wrong, you're going to make it seem like your case is going to be the right thing, and you're going to win the case, and you're going to win the argument, and you're going to win the war. So that can be a thing for you. But you have to, of course, look at your individual lives and make adjustments if you don't like anything. I like to look at the 12th house, as that kind of gives some insight as to how your mind kind of works in order for you to become this first house in Cancer. So what comes before Cancer is Gemini. So in your mind, Gemini is a thinking sign. It's a learning, speaking, reading, writing, communicating, gossiping, interacting with a small community sign. It's kind of on the kind of grade school level, so not big philosophies. That's the opposite, Sagittarius. It's still in the kind of learning, like you read a book and then you just learn from the book. You're not the writer of the book, even though Gemini energy, you can definitely write books and stuff. But it's just what I'm trying to explain, the energy of this archetype. So Gemini being in your 12th house, you're always thinking, learning, communicating, thinking about networking in your small community, how to socialize, how to charm, because Gemini is like a charming, flirty sign. A lot of the air signs are, maybe not Aquarius, but Gemini and Libra are kind of flirty signs that people really like them. And so in your mind, you have this kind of Gemini quality. You have to think all the time, or analyze, critique, or learn all the time. You're a speaker. Communication is important to you, or you just naturally do it. And that is kind of bringing up this first house energy of Cancer, of now you have to nurture. So you know a lot, you've learned a lot, because Gemini is learning about like your siblings, how you were raised, upbringing, the close community and people in it, and all the things that you know or have learned about them, because you kind of are very curious and you get to know all the different people in your little bubble. And so with this information now, you kind of know how to nurture and care for the different people that you interact with. You have this kind of knowledge and lessons from just experience and going through things subconsciously, as you are just conditioned in a certain way, and now how you present yourself, as well as how you put your mask on in order to feel safe. and make sure you are accepted, not rejected. That is the mask that you put on, is that you put on the mask of being caring and nurturing, because that is who you are, or who you become based on your experiences. And the moon is your ruler of yourself. So you go through kind of mood swings, as well as Gemini energy in the 12th house is naturally ruled by Mercury, and it's a thinking sign. So you kind of have a lot of thoughts in your mind, and it's kind of not grounded. It's like in the air, floating, and it's changeable air, mutable air. So it's kind of bouncing around from one thing to the next thing. And, you know, since it's kind of unstable air, Cancer is a cardinal water sign. So it's action oriented. You're willing to work and go after things based on your emotions. But Cancer energy is also almost feeling like a mutable energy, as the moon changes signs every 2 to 3 days. So you kind of go through waves of all the different kind of emotions, and there's a lot of emotions, you know. So it's kind of this instability, air thinking sign, and now in your physical body and personality, you understand a lot and you know a lot, and now how you have to present yourself is like you have to now nurture and care based on what you know, and as well as care and nurture your own body. Don't forget to care and nurture your own body. Yeah. The other thing, so most likely your second house is ruled by Leo. So your second house is naturally ruled, well, it's normally ruled by Taurus, and yours is in Leo. Second house energy naturally rules our personal finances, our material things that we own, and our self-worth, self-value. So having Leo in this house, you have a lot of pride, pride and ego, because that's just what what Leo can represent. Pride in your finances, pride in your self-worth, self-esteem, in how you express yourself, or how you express yourself with your money. And it's kind of theatrical. Leo is like the entertainer, someone who wants to be seen. And so with the material things that you own or purchase or decorate, you want to be seen based on like, hey, look at what I can afford with my money, and you're proud of it. You want it to shine. You want people to know like, hey, I can do these things, or I can have nice things, you know. And then Leo is also your self-worth, self-esteem, how you present yourself, because Leo is kind of like presentation, or superficial, lighthearted stuff, casual dates, casual drinking, casual sex, casual play, icebreakers, team building, you know, lighthearted things that you normally do in the dating realm before getting really deep, dark, and deep in a relationship. So you're kind of putting that in your second house of personal finances and and self-worth, self-esteem. You can also be an entertainer, like what you do for work or how you make money is entertain in some way, shape, or form. You present in order to get money, or you're literally an actor or a performer or someone in order to get money, or in order, you know, so it's a little bit of both. Second house energy is like a pleasure house, look good, feel good, smell good, eat good food. So the presentation of all of those things, you know, has to have this Leo leadership, big heart, grand. It's kind of put on display, kind of quality when it comes to your finances, your personal finances, and your self-esteem. Your third house is most likely ruled by Virgo. Third house is normally your siblings, your close community, or the people who are near you, and your communication style, your learning style, how you read, write, speak, learn. So it's very detail-oriented, perfectionist, OCD, kind of critical. Your communication style can come off as very critical, or like perfectionistic. You want things to be perfect, or when you communicate, it's almost like relating to, you need to do this, you need to do that, or acts of service. Either the people in your small community provide acts of service for you, or you provide acts of service for them. And health. So health in your small community is also of importance, or your day-to-day routine. How do you take care of your health in your small community, or how do you kind of teach and learn about health to your small community in whatever department that may look for you. And you can be kind of critical about it, perhaps, or perfectionistic in some way, shape, or form. It's also your pets, you know, so you may surround yourself with a lot of pets, or your siblings, friends. Pets are of importance. Just the day-to-day routine. Your learning style may be kind of Virgo-like, very detail-oriented, looking at the details. The way you speak may be like that. The way you read and write may be more detail-oriented in some way, shape, or form. Very, you know, you have to have lists. You have to organize, planning, and, you know, acts of service, telling people what they should do, or they're telling you what you need to be done, and doing all these fine detail type things within your small community, or how you communicate within an email. It's short distance travel, third house energy. It's usually, you know, like going to the grocery store or something. So you're communicating in a Virgo detail-oriented way in order to whatever get done, you know. Or you may find that a lot of your peers or people you grew up with have this kind of Virgo quality. They are about acts of service, or they're literally in the service department, or they're into health and fitness, or they're actual doctors. Or they love pets, you know, and you find that you're surrounded by your small community with people who have this archetype within them. Or they find that you kind of come off as a Virgo, very detail-oriented, critical in a way, whether that is too much or just about right, in order to help. Your fifth house is most likely ruled by Scorpio. So your fifth house is normally ruled by Leo, and Scorpio is being put in this fifth house. So you may find that your casual relationships end up being very deep and transformational. It's not lighthearted at all. Normally Scorpio comes after marriage. It's things that you join with, or when you know you're going to be with this person, now you tell each other your deep dark secrets. You know, it's no longer fun and play, superficial Leo type stuff, but having Scorpio in this superficial house of fun and play, it's very deep. It's kind of deep, dark, going down the rabbit hole. It's skeletons in the closet, things that you may not, it's not really normal, I guess, or it's very psychological in some way, shape, or form. But think deep, dark change and transformation, or psychological change and transformation. It doesn't always have to be dark, but it can be in your dating relationships. So just be aware of that. If you find that, like unpleasant things seem to happen in there, you may have people who are very possessive over you or controlling, or you find that you fall into power plays or power and control dynamics in the 5th house of dating, casual drinking, casual sex. You kind of want to be enmeshed and know this person right away, possibly, or like your idea of fun dating is like really getting to know this person on a very deep psychological level. And not everyone is going to like be very welcoming to that. It might feel a little too intrusive, too fast, so people who are in a healthy state may be very repelled by it, or like, whoa, like you are controlling, or you're trying to get something out of me, and like what's up with you. Let me turn that off. Woo-hoo. So your casual dating partners may see you like that, like you're kind of too much, or you're super deep, or you have kind of control issues in some way. Or you come in contact with people in your casual dating relationships who have psychological deep issues that they haven't resolved, or childhood wounds, or things that they're not very conscious of. So just be aware of that. Get counseling, or maybe in the future I will open up online counseling, but right now not quite yet. So that may be a thing for you in your casual dating relationships. Or there are power plays with what you do for fun. You argue about, what is important, or you want to do things your way, or they want to do things your way, and you have to come to an agreement on both sides. Hopefully, whoever your partner is willing to do that, and hopefully you are not the controlling one and they're just submitting and doing whatever you want, so they don't rock the boat and keep you happy. So you have to look at both. Your 6th house is most likely ruled by Sagittarius. So your day-to-day routine, it feels kind of foreign to you, or you always want to learn, or you're very optimistic in the day-to-day work life or what you need to do. It's very kind of adventurous, flighty. You need change a lot, or you learn about one thing and then you kind of need to go off to the next interesting endeavor or whatever it is, or on a day-to-day basis you need to teach about something, some bigger philosophy or something bigger than yourself, or whenever you go out on a day-to-day basis, you feel like you're doing something greater than yourself, or you're learning to adapt into this kind of day-to-day life that feels kind of foreign to what you've normally been used to in some way. So like think like behavior change, like if you were an addict, for a really long time, and now being sober and clean feels very foreign to you, or perhaps on a day-to-day life you love to travel, or you literally do something that requires travel. You're a flight attendant, a pilot, you work internationally, or work with people who are foreign from you, or who grew up in a foreign way or belief system from you, and you work and help people who are foreign, in some way. It doesn't have to be literal foreigners, or people who have different belief systems or religions from you. Your day-to-day work life can be just like philosophical, like your belief system is important to you on a day-to-day basis. Whatever you believe in, your faith, your religion is important to you on a day-to-day basis, on how you live your life and how you believe your health should be. There's this more higher level of belief system in that department. Your 8th house is most likely ruled by Aquarius, so your joint finances, sex, your in-laws, inheritances, other people's money, or if you have a partner, their money, whatever you join together, if you are married, because you don't have to be, is takes on this Aquarian archetype. So Aquarius is just unconventional, not of the norm, not traditional, unique, maybe weird to other people. So whatever you do in the bedroom, you may be interested in things that are kind of unconventional or kinky, or kind of futuristic, or you're into intellectual conversations in the bedroom when you're with your spouse. This is where you talk about all kinds of things, as that kind of turns you on, possibly. It can also mean that you have a blended family, or a very kind of unique, unconventional blend. When you join together with someone else, it's just unconventional in-laws or unconventional joint family people, actual people, or finances. It's just the way you do things is unconventional and not of the norm. The way you divide things, do things, split things, all of that stuff is Aquarian. Or you see these people as friends. Aquarius are friends. So, like maybe you donate your inheritance to your friends, not your family, because maybe your family was terrible to you. And you believe in, your friends were more of your family than your family. Or you'll give away your money to humanitarian things, or things that, just aren't traditional that you see in a movie, so relate those things together. Your 9th house is most likely ruled by Pisces, so your belief systems are more spiritual. So it's kind of, Sagittarius is kind of a religion belief system house, but it's more of the kind of book, more traditional religion, and Pisces is naturally more spiritual. So they kind of blend together in this house pretty well. Pisces can be like no boundaries. So your belief systems may not have very clear boundaries, or what you believe in, right or wrong, or how you move about in your day-to-day life may have like unclear boundaries, or whatever you believe in might not have clear boundaries. Like you might say you believe in this or that, but then your presentation of it might not seem to match, like the boundaries are a little bit blurry. So that's just the energy that's playing out in this 9th house, or how you teach, because 9th house is a teaching house, a philosophical house. Make him come off as very dreamy, mystical, creative, and kind of escapist, like you want to escape to your spirituality or whatever you learn and teach. It can be kind of, it comes off as dreamy, or Pisces can also be in an addiction house. So you might believe in, you might not believe in it, but things that are like addictions and disorders, subconscious things, dreams, you may teach these things to other people because you just know more about it, or it's of interest to you, or you know the importance of these kind of psychological belief systems kind of play out in how you actually act and navigate the world. Your 10th house is most likely ruled by Taurus. So your career house is, you come off as like a, is that right? Yeah. Your, oh no, your 11th house. Yeah, it looks like a 10. I was like, that's not right. Taurus shouldn't be the 10th house of a Cancer. 11th house is Taurus. So you may find that a lot of your friends and networking, they have this Taurian quality. They're very nurturing, caring, Venusian, or pleasant in that way. They care about their finances. They're emotionally stable or financially stable, or they just love nice things. If they're not, you know, you have friends who love to eat or love to dress up. They love things that smell good, look good. They're into beauty. They're into pleasure. They're into like nice fluffy things, you know. They just want everything to feel stable and calm and pleasant, you know. And so you may find that you have friends who take on more of this role, or you're attracted to them, or your friends see you in this way, because there's a duality to all of these signs. Are the people that gravitate towards us, or we gravitate towards them in some way. Usually it reflects something about ourselves if we're not aware of it. So that's how we kind of click together. Or we are very repulsed or repelled from one another, you know, and so we can learn things from each other. But that concludes this analysis of Cancer rising people. And if you would like a personal birth chart reading, you can go to my website, which is in the description box below, www.natashascreativewellness.com. You can schedule and just book the earliest time, as it's a pre-recorded reading. And you just need your date of birth, location of birth, and time of birth. Please be clear and provide all of that information. Otherwise, I have to ask, and things get delayed and such things, because this stuff also takes time to upload. And if you're interested in notebooks, journals, and want to support me in some way, I have these on my website as well. They're from old paintings, as I have like a creative art degree, and also fitness. It's just a normal journal, but if you're into that, you can follow my other channel, Natasha Greenwood, or fit_Tasha Flex, if you're into more of the fitness workout part, as that is part of wellness as well, and how to improve yourself, build resilience, push through self-inflicted challenges in order to get better, which is kind of a metaphor with all of this stuff. You have to be aware of your shortcomings, your downfalls, and slowly work on them, and slowly kind of be a little bit uncomfortable in order to be a little bit better, and just trust the process. It's not fast at all. So yes, so please like, share, and subscribe. subscribe to help me boost up on the algorithm of this channel. Share this with someone that you find it might help them in some way, or find their rising sign or zodiac sign in the playlist down below and share it with them, because it just helps get another perspective and a deeper understanding as to why are we the way we are, why are we here, and such. So yes, I'll conclude that here, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye. So high, so high.